Before we get to the podcast, I want to let you know about a special program we are running for Rosen Institute members called Vision Quest. Most lawyers have a practice that is happening to them. They aren't in control. They are bouncing around to whichever client is the loudest, whatever fire is the biggest. When they do make time to work on the practice, it is in fits and starts, and none of it goes anywhere because there is no clear direction on where things should be going. That's what Vision Quest solves. We work with you to figure out your priority for your practice and the personal life you want it to provide. It's a big, bold target and the steps to get there so that every time you have to make a decision going forward, you already know the answer because you know which option will move you closer to your vision. It's a 30-day program. All the sessions are delivered straight to your podcast player, and I know you love podcasts. There's a great community of other attorneys and firm owners working on their practices, and Lee and I are there providing hands-on guidance and feedback. Enrollment is open right now, but we shut the doors on September 5th and start the following Monday. Come join us at roseninstitute.com/join for Vision Quest.
This is Rosen Institute's Your Law Firm, where Lee Rosen and Ned Days cover management, marketing, finance, and new technologies for building the practice you deserve. Rosen Institute members received this episode early, as well as exclusive segments on getting your accounts receivable under control, a rant about trust and connection, as well as sessions from our pay-per-click advertising program. Get access to everything you're missing at roseninstitute.com/join. Here's Lee Rosen.
It's good to be with you today from London, where we're heavily engaged in a conflict with Airbnb over an air conditioner that isn't working in an apartment that we rented. We specifically booked this apartment because it had air conditioning, just in case London had another one of their heat waves. And yes, heat wave, very, very hot, and no air conditioning in the apartment. It's just not working. I'm recording right now in a hotel room just around the corner from the apartment, and the bottom line is that we're finding a way to stay cool one way or another, and I'm using my lawyering skills to get an adjustment from Airbnb. I think we're going to be able to work it out. We shall see. But we're not going to suffer. We're going to find an air conditioner and keep the cool air flowing. But London, at least this past week, it has been hot.
It's time for your tech tip. The portable document format. Our old friend the PDF just celebrated its 32nd birthday, which makes me feel about 400 years old. But its enduring popularity as a document format and ubiquitous nature across all kinds of apps means that increasingly we can get away without having to use the big, cumbersome, expensive PDF authoring and editing packages like Adobe Acrobat on a daily basis. In a lot of circumstances, whatever software we are using can just output a PDF for us, but there are still quite a few scenarios where we occasionally need to make small tweaks to an existing PDF, and both using and paying for something like Nitro PDF or Acrobat is overkill and would require spending more time to figure out what we wanted to do than just starting over from scratch. So here are 4 tools that let you do some useful things with PDFs, things that you can do in other software and on other platforms, but that these tools make so convenient and focused that they may very well make more sense than trying to fumble your way through doing it with a more fully featured tool. First up is PDF to Link, which you can find at pdf2link.online. You drag in a PDF and you get a shareable link to a hosted version on the web, as well as a QR code that takes you directly to the PDF when scanned. I kind of want to hate this service because it is just so simple, but that's actually what makes it so great. It makes it easier than just about anything else I have seen to share a PDF. And what's really cool is that you don't even need to log in or set up an account to use the free plan. You can upload 3 PDFs every 2 days, up to 3 megabytes apiece, and the links automatically expire after 48 hours. They have paid plans too that include unlimited uploads, larger file sizes, and control over when and if access to the PDFs should expire. Next on the list is PDF Barber, available at pdfbarber.com. This is a multifunction PDF toolkit that lets you perform quite a few modifications. You select a PDF from your device, and you can then do a few basics like split and merge PDF files, rotate and reorder pages, extract individual pages, as well as flatten and compress files. You also get some more advanced features like being able to apply a watermark, which you can either center or tile across the entire document. You can sign PDFs. You also get a tool for generating a QR code and overlaying that on the PDF. PDF Barber is completely free, and what is most interesting about it is that it uses modern web browser functionality to run entirely in your web browser. You are not uploading your PDFs to a server for processing and then downloading them. Your data stays entirely on your machine, and all of the editing and exporting happens entirely within your browser window. OnlyPDF.ai is another free tool, and this one allows you to have AI chats with your PDFs. Now, if you have an account with any of the LLM chatbots out there, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or anything else, you can do the same thing there. OnlyPDF does let you ask an unlimited number of questions, and it doesn't require any kind of account or login. They also delete all your PDFs after 1 hour. Last on our list is Molku, available at molku.ai. I probably sound like a broken record at this point when I talk about platforms for using AI to extract data from documents you are receiving and then reformat it and send it to other software in a way that's actually useful for you. There are lots of ways to do this, but Molku is a very simple and inexpensive way to experiment with this kind of functionality if you are looking to get your feet wet. The idea is very straightforward. You upload an example PDF. This might be a bank account record or financial statement, an engagement agreement, contract, invoice, or anything else. You specify the pieces of information you want extracted in plain text, so you might just say name or address or account numbers or balances or anything else. You can also provide additional prompts if you want the extracted information modified in any way. Maybe the formatting needs to be cleaned up by removing certain characters. Maybe you want currency formatted in a specific way, or maybe you want a number modified by adding 15%. The sky is the limit. You can then either specify a Google Sheet where the information should go, or upload an output template PDF and indicate where on the output file the fields you've specified from the input file should go. The input file, output template, and all the fields you specify constitute a workflow, and you can then either upload new PDFs to that workflow via the dashboard or automate the process with a tool like Zapier or Make and connect any other software you want. And you can, of course, create multiple workflows for different kinds of documents. There's a free plan that includes 50 credits so that you can experiment with it to get a feel for how it works, and then paid plans starting at $19 a month from there. While you may not need any of these tools on a daily basis, I think they are all worth a bookmark so that on the occasion you do need to make a quick modification to, or share, or extract some data from a PDF, you have them ready to go. I'm Ned Days, and that's your tech tip.
And now for your moment of concise advice. Feedback frameworks. Have you heard that terminology? These are the frameworks that get taught for how to deliver feedback to employees. A framework, it's mostly just another word for a script. The words are written down so that you'll know what to say, and in this instance, it's to give the employee feedback. And my favorite framework or script for employee feedback is offered by this company called Manager Tools at managertools.com. It's really good, and it works. I've used it a lot. Now, there are lots of other feedback frameworks that you can use. They're all better than winging it, but I'll be honest with you. When I have used these frameworks, these scripts, every time I do it, I feel a little silly. I feel like I'm reading from a script because I am reading from a script, and I watch as the other person looks at me, and I sort of expect them to roll their eyes. It feels a little ridiculous to be reading this thing that I've memorized. But here's the thing. It works. I've seen these scripts, these feedback frameworks work over and over again. But even knowing that these scripts for feedback work, that they are effective, when someone isn't doing what they're supposed to do, something like entering their time in the billing system on schedule, it's tempting to not address it, to let it slide, to wait to deal with it another day. Or it's also tempting to reach a point where I'm so frustrated that I overreact and lose my temper. It's a really tough thing to deliver feedback. It's not something I've ever aspired to do in my career. I don't really like the idea of correcting people if I can avoid it. But neither approach, neither letting it go nor screaming at the employee, neither one does much to fix the problem. So instead, I've done, I guess, the right thing. I've kept it simple, and I've used the feedback framework. I follow this short, memorized script, and it's my go-to for every accountability issue. I use the Manager Tools script specifically, and it keeps me from going into avoidance mode, and it keeps me from screaming at people. Most importantly, when I use the script and get the job done, that keeps me from spending days stewing about how upset I am about the situation or wondering how I'm going to bring it up. If I use the script, I just do it. I follow the script, I get it done, and it works. Now, I have had these conversations so many times, whether it's about recording time in the billing system or showing up at the office on time for work or remembering to turn the coffee pot on in the morning in the break room. Every time, it always feels the same. It feels a little awkward in the beginning. It feels a little too formal and uncomfortable, but each time I use the script, it moves things forward. Here's what I say when I deliver feedback using this particular script. I ask the person, can I give you some feedback? And I wait for their answer. And of course, they always say yes. If they say no, then we have a bigger problem. And then I tell them, when you don't enter the time contemporaneously, it creates errors in the bills. The clients get upset, and it hurts our reputation. I explain why this is a problem. And then I explain what I need them to do. I say something like, I need you to enter your time every day. And then I ask, what can you do about that? And that's it. It's short, it's direct, there's no drama, there's no story, there's no excuses, and it works. I remember one particular associate who never put his time in the system until the end of the month. And so I had this conversation. I used this exact script, and it turned out that this associate had never been told how to enter his time and never been told to do it daily. He'd picked up bad habits from other members of the team, and he wasn't trying to cheat the system. He just didn't know. So the first conversation that we had following the script, it became a teaching moment. And the next month, he entered his time right on time every day. And I gave him feedback on that as well. I gave him positive feedback using the script to explain that what he was doing was helping the law firm move in the right direction. The feedback framework, it works. It just gets things done. We move in the right direction. That's the power of these conversations. So I've had lots of these conversations over and over and over again. The secret is that these conversations, they aren't about a one-time fix. It would be great if there were magic words that delivered a one-time permanent fix, but that's not the way things work with human beings. The conversations are repetitive. You end up having the same talk, using the same words over and over again about one issue or another until the person gets it, or they decide this isn't the right job for them, and that's okay. The repetition, doing it over and over again, it isn't a failure. No, it's what creates clarity, and ultimately, it's what gets results. When you keep delivering feedback, when you keep holding people accountable, you see the results. Things move forward, but it never gets easier. It's easier with the frameworks, but it's always a little uncomfortable. And I think most of us, we tend to expect people to do what they're supposed to do. Management is something that we wish we didn't have to do, but we must do it. It's an essential part of what we need to do to get where we want to go. It might feel easier to just complain about these issues to your spouse or to your partner over dinner. I've spent a lot of time doing that, but it doesn't solve anything. No, management, delivering feedback, using these scripts, these frameworks, they deliver. They stop the cycle of you complaining into thin air, and they turn it into action. The scripts keep you moving. The frameworks are effective. You are in the business of getting work done through others, and that only works when people understand, when they know exactly what it is that is expected of them, and how it is that they are falling short. So, yes, using these frameworks, it feels a little robotic. It feels forced, but it's a lot better than no conversation at all. It's how you move from frustration to a fix. And over time, it's how you build a team that performs at the highest level, because people want to do well. They want to know how to meet your expectations. And if they don't, or if they won't, well, then you've got your answer there too. So give feedback, lots of it. Use the feedback frameworks to guide yourself. That's how you get this job done. And that's your moment of concise advice. Wrapping up from London, thanks for spending a few minutes with me and Ned today. We hope you have a great weekend and an even better week next week. Keep plugging away, moving forward, and getting things done. You're on the right track. You'll get there. I promise. We're all in this together, and together we build better practices through better marketing, better management, and better technology. Until next time, I'm Lee Rosen.
Thanks for listening to Your Law Firm. Subscribe to the Friday File at roseninstitute.com and join thousands of lawyers focused on working on instead of in their practices. You'll find safe, successful, actionable approaches for transforming your firm. Sign up for free at roseninstitute.com.